Ian David Carslake Watkins was born on July 30th, 1977, in Merthyr Tydfil, Wales, and grew up in Pontypridd. From an early age, he was fascinated by the raw power of rock and metal music, finding inspiration in American bands such as Faith No More. Watkins attended Hawthorne High School and later pursued graphic design at the University of Wales, Newport, where he graduated with first-class honors. Though academically gifted, his true passion was music, a path that would bring him fame, fortune, and ultimately, a tragic downfall. By the time of his death, Ian Watkins had an estimated worth of around $1.2 million, amassed from his years as a musician, endorsements, and other ventures. His journey into music began during his teenage years when he bonded with friend Mike Lewis over their shared love of rock. Together, they formed a short-lived band called Aftermath in 1991. The group never recorded any material, but it planted the seeds of Watkins' musical ambitions. After its breakup, he and guitarist Lee Gaze created Fleshbind, a hardcore punk band influenced by American acts. They performed in small local venues, even opening for Feeder in London, before parting ways. In 1995, Watkins joined the hardcore outfit Public Disturbance as a drummer, reconnecting with Lewis. However, his growing desire to lead a band as a vocalist led him to co-found a new project with Gaze, Lost Prophets. By 1997, Lost Prophets made their live debut, and Watkins decided to leave Public Disturbance to devote himself fully to his new role as frontman. The band's first album, The Fake Sound of Progress, 2000, marked the beginning of their rise. With later releases such as Start Something, 2004, Liberation Transmission, 2006, The Betrayed, 2010, and Weapons, 2012, Lost Prophets became one of the UK's most prominent alternative rock bands. Their unique mix of nu metal, punk, and post-hardcore sounds earned them massive popularity worldwide. Watkins' commanding stage presence and charisma helped solidify the group's success, earning them headlining spots at major festivals like Reading and Leeds. At the height of his fame, Watkins was celebrated as one of rock's most dynamic frontmen. In 2006, he accepted several Welsh Pop Factory awards for Lost Prophets, proudly declaring it an honor to be the best band in the best country in the world. He also engaged in charity work, organizing a concert for the Kidney Wales Foundation after his mother's kidney transplant. His collaborations with other artists, such as Hoobastank and The Blackout, and his remix project L'Amour La Morgue, showcased his creative versatility. He remixed songs for artists like Beyoncé, The Killers, and Tears for Fears. However, behind the fame, Watkins was living a dark, destructive life. By 2010, his relationships with bandmates were deteriorating due to his drug use and erratic behavior. As the others moved to Los Angeles, Watkins isolated himself in Wales, sinking deeper into addiction and secrecy. Rumors and allegations about his involvement in disturbing crimes began surfacing as early as 2008. His ex-girlfriend, Joanne Jadzelix, and other individuals repeatedly reported him to South Wales police for possessing explicit images and engaging in child abuse. Between 2008 and 2011, multiple warnings were dismissed by authorities, who reportedly believed the accusations were fabricated by obsessive fans. This failure to act would later be seen as one of the greatest oversights in British policing. By 2012, Watkins' life spiraled completely out of control. He was arrested several times on drug-related charges but was repeatedly released on bail. Finally, in December 2012, a police raid on his home revealed a horrifying reality, a massive collection of indecent images and videos involving children, as well as evidence of attempted sexual assaults. 2 days later, he was formally charged with conspiracy to engage in sexual acts with a 1-year-old, possession of indecent images, and possession of extreme pornography involving animals. Initially, Watkins denied the charges. But as more evidence emerged, including encrypted files and video footage of his abuse, he pleaded guilty in November 2013. The charges included attempted rape and sexual assault of children under 13, as well as creating and distributing indecent images. Court documents exposed Watkins' depravity and manipulative behavior, revealing how he used his fame to lure victims and convince mothers to involve their own children. On December 18, 2013, the Cardiff Crown Court sentenced him to 29 years in prison, followed by 6 years on extended license. The judge described his actions as plunging into new depths of depravity. 2 women who were accomplices and mothers of his victims received sentences of 14 and 17 years. The case shocked the world, with many unable to reconcile the once-adored rock star with the monstrous crimes he committed. Following his conviction, Lost Prophets disbanded immediately. The remaining members issued a public statement expressing their devastation and disgust, vowing never to perform under the same name again. They later formed a new band, No Devotion, with American vocalist Jeff Rickley, determined to move forward free from the disgrace Watkins brought upon them. Even in prison, Watkins continued to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. In 2018, he was caught with a smuggled mobile phone that he used to contact fans and manipulate them into sending him money. Though he denied ownership, claiming he was coerced by other inmates, he was found guilty and given an additional 10-month sentence. Reports indicated that Watkins paid gang members for protection and to keep his illicit communications secret. In 2016, the Independent Police Complaints Commission concluded that South Wales Police had ignored numerous credible reports about Watkins between 2008 and 2012. Detectives admitted hesitating to act out of fear of negative media attention due to his celebrity status. The report labeled Watkins a predatory pedophile whose crimes could have been stopped years earlier had police acted appropriately. Life behind bars was volatile and dangerous for Watkins. He was frequently targeted by other inmates. In August 2023, he was held hostage and stabbed by fellow prisoners at Wakefield Prison, suffering non-fatal injuries. Reports described him as living in fear, bribing others for safety, and constantly looking over his shoulder. 2 years later, on October 11, 2025, his story came to a violent end. Watkins was found dead in his cell after being attacked and stabbed by 2 inmates, aged 25 and 43. The murder took place in the same high-security prison where he had served most of his time. His death marked the grim end of a man who had once stood at the height of musical fame but fell into the darkest depths of human evil. In death, Ian Watkins left behind a legacy of horror and betrayal. Once admired for his music, he became a symbol of how fame can mask unspeakable crimes. For his victims, his death brought a measure of closure after years of pain. For the public, it stood as a chilling reminder of how power and adoration can enable corruption and destruction. Watkins' musical achievements, including chart-topping albums like The Fake Sound of Progress, Start Something, Liberation Transmission, The Betrayed, and Weapons, have been forever tainted. What was once a promising career ended as one of the darkest scandals in British music history. Ian David Carslake Watkins' story is a haunting tale of how talent, fame, and opportunity can be corrupted by addiction and moral collapse. His rise and fall remain a cautionary lesson, a reminder that even those who seem to shine the brightest can conceal the darkest secrets. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and kindly subscribe for more videos like this.